Hi, this is Kelly Tolman, and welcome to Literature Discussions. Today I'm going to talk about the story The Leap by Louise Erdrich. This story has found its way into a large number of anthologies that are commonly used in high school and middle school classrooms, and for good reason. The Leap is a charming tale that appeals to many people, and it touches on questions that are dear to all of us. The author nicely divides the story into an introduction, followed by 3 sections, 3 stories within the story, if you will. Each of these mini-stories talks about one way in which Anna Avalon preserves the life of her daughter, the narrator. In the first story, Anna saves her daughter's life by saving her own life. Anna and Harry Avalon are trapeze artists, and in a horrible accident caused by lightning, Harry is killed. Anna survives, though she loses the baby she was pregnant with. Throughout the whole story, but in this episode in particular, the narrator really focuses on how important the lives of our ancestors are. Without them, we wouldn't exist. Without a mother, none of us would have come into this world. In particular, the narrator points out how her mother made the conscious choice to stay alive by grabbing a hot cable rather than vainly trying to save her fallen husband. So one question I would ask would be, what decisions did your mother make before you were born, or even before she knew she would ever be a mother, that changed your life? Remember that at this point in Anna's life, she didn't know that she would remarry, or that she would lose her child, or anything from the future. The next episode, the narrator says that her mother saved her life a second time, this time by falling in love with her father. Anna goes on to remarry and to have another daughter. The narrator's life is saved because she is given life. Although the narrator does not focus as much on her father as she does on her mother, there is still a sense of gratitude for what her father did to help her mother. Her father taught her mother to read and helped her through the depression of losing a husband and child. Once again, I would suggest that the narrator has a message about parenting and fathers. What do you think that message might be? Take a moment to compare and contrast the narrator's view of parents with your own views and your own experiences. What experiences have you had that have helped to develop how you feel about your parents? The final part of the story focuses on the events in which her mother saves the narrator's life during a house fire. This is the one time when the saving of a life is literal in the most basic sense. So, there are a couple of points of discussion that I would like to bring up. First of all, why do you think the author chose to tell the story in this way? Why the 3 distinct episodes of saving a life, and why categorize saving her mother's life and getting married as saving the life of the narrator? Clearly, the author could have told the story in a different order. She could have spent more time focusing on the narrow escape from the fire and the daring acrobatics of her mother. Next, I want to talk about the title of the story, The Leap. There are 2 leaps in the story, and the title could potentially refer to either of these leaps. Which of these leaps is more important? The leap to save the mother's life, or the leap to save the daughter's life? There are other meanings for the word leap, such as in the expression leap to conclusions or leap of faith. How might this meaning be applied to the story or to the author's intended message? By the way, what do you think the message of the story is? What idea was the author trying to express, and how successful was she at expressing that idea? To me, I think one of the main messages of the story is the idea that the decisions that our parents make are vitally important to us, especially the decisions that they make before we are born. Think for a moment about your own life. Where were you born? In what country? In what city? In what hospital? If not in a hospital, where? In a home or somewhere else? How did your parents meet? What kind of people were they when they were young? How did their lifestyle choices affect the answers to all of these questions? I think these are important questions to consider as we read this story, and as I reflect on them myself, I realize that much of what affected my parents' choices was created by their circumstances, just like how Anna met her second husband in the story. An extension of these questions is the question of what choices you are making in your life and how they will affect those who come after you. Not everyone of my audience has children or plans to have children, but there will always be someone affected by how we live. I think one of the things that the author encourages us to do with this story is to think about what we leave behind us, what we are creating in our lives. Of course, there are many other points to ponder as you read The Leap, and I encourage you to share your ideas. Let me know what you find interesting in the story. Thank you for tuning in to Literature Discussions with Kelly Tolman, and be sure to check out all of my video and audio content at literaturediscussions.com.